Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. WeldWerks. We've done WeldWerks before, but few and far between. This be there. It's just a little Krush Hazie IPA with Krush hops. Oddly enough, this will be the second Krush hopped, technically second crushed hop beer review we'll be doing in short order. We did a wet, or I shouldn't say wet, whole leaf hopped beer by Kane Brewing. When I did that review, I was like, something about this beer seems familiar. Looked it up. It's actually HPC 286 or 826, something, some dyslexic thing. You'll know. Look it up. And it's been used a ton by a bunch of brewers, more specifically Hop Butcher and a ton of their beers, so it's becoming a very popular hop. I had that in a whole leaf variety. I'm really curious to see how it comes off in the hazy variety. Not that one wasn't hazy, but it was more, oily. Let's put it that way. What do we have here? Outside of this WeldWerks Brewing Company, it says, have a beer with me, yes or no. It's like doing a whole, let's do a fold up a piece of paper that says, I have a crush on you kind of thing going on. So I can dig on that. Drink cold, keep cold, drink fresh, 6.2% alcohol by volume, almost on nose, a month old. Pick this up locally. Greenlee, Colorado. It's got the make that mixtape, mix CD. Show you what age the folks over at WeldWerks grew up in. So let's dive in. See what's what. Yeah, WeldWerks. I've dug their beers. Last one I reviewed was actually on my favorite beers reviewed of 2024. It was their starts with an M, and it's a stout. I reviewed it at the end of 2024. Mencione, something along those lines, and I really dig that. And yeah, flavor-wise, like I said, I can get down with it. Beer-wise, 6% hazy, looks all the part with what you expect from that. Nice kind of dense turbidity to it, but doesn't look ultra thick to it. It has a head on it that comes off a little tight, bubbly, little soapy edges to it, barely off-white, so it looks the part of New School Haze. Let's get a nose. Ooh. It smells like... It's interesting. It does smell... I'm going to sit here and say, knee-jerk reaction. It has an aromatic very similar to a lot of hazies I've gotten from Hop Butcher. And it has this soft, slightly oaty confectionery kind of mixture to it. So it's this softer edge, not sharp, sweetened kind of sweetness to it. At least the perception of sweetness. I know you can't smell sweet, but you know what I'm talking about. And as far as the hops come off, it's weird. It feels like a combination of like a Citra Galaxy Sabro kind of thing. I'm not saying there's a straight kind of like coconutty kind of thing, but there's something there outside of your core three, your citrus, stone fruit, tropical fruit. There's something a bit more to it, and that's why I'm kind of leaning into that kind of Sabro descriptor. Yeah, not a big green component, not a big perception of like there's going to be huge bittering to it, but it comes off this soft, sweet, well done, hazy, smells all the part of a lot of brewer sugars, not a big malt base, but there is a nice perception of sweetness to it. Not going to lie. Kind of digging this nose. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. That's delicious. That is delicious. Man. It does have a bittering to it. And the bittering comes off green, slightly unkept grassy, slightly greeny grassiness, which always is a quick way to this dude's heart. Kind of for its ABV level, it's not turbid, but it has this lush mouthfeel to it, so it's soft, inviting. The sweetness level on this is absolutely perfect for a 6 and change hazy. It's sweet enough, but not overly sweet, so they're not this kind of sweet on sweet, under attenuated thing going on. A little bit of carbonic bittering here, but not enough to break the bank, at least for this guy. Hypersensitive to that, so I don't think it'll bother anybody else. But it really is the way the fruits kind of play in this beer in combination with the way that kind of carbonic / hop bittering kind of plays and has this kind of ebb and flow back and forth between each other. But like I said, it's playing this cool kind of like a melange of fruit flavors kind of thing. If a gun to my head, probably pull out citrus as number one, but it's very close second or third on stone and tropical fruits. But it's really this kind of cool, and I attribute it all to that Krush hop. It's not coconut. It's something akin to coconut, almost like coconut watery as opposed to coconut. There's some fruit flavor, some kind of plant fruit. I don't know what you'd call a coconut, melon. I don't even know what a coconut is as far as a genus, but it has this kind of cool, almost like it is going to be like a really weird stretch for people. Pawpaw fruit. It's like a fruit that we get out in Pennsylvania and stuff like that. It has this like slightly kind of coconut banana combination kind of feel. I'm not saying this tastes like banana, but it has this kind of like odd fruit flavor, but not an odd and a I don't know what's going on here. It kind of makes me feel weird. A welcoming flavor. So it almost slips into that kind of like Julius, not beer Julius, but tropical Julius fruit drink, kind of Jamba Juicy thing. Again, I'm not calling it like a confectionery fruit thing, but it doesn't come off as straight like pulpy juice, like fresh squeezed juice. It doesn't come off as candiedness. It doesn't come off as jamminess. It's got this really cool kind of vibe to it, and it's probably the best way I could kind of explain it is the vibe of it. It has this little bit of like slight confectionery fruit juiciness to it. I think elevates it to something ultra pleasurable. I mean, when you take into account that it has that carbonic, slight hoppy bittering, and then not completely fully attenuated, but very, very close. So you have that slight words are hard, residual sweetness, and then you get that fruit portion. So they play together really, really well, and a very fun beer. I dig this. I dig this quite a bit. Dialed in beer. It's modest too. But yeah, I like this. I picked it up, I said, I want something different. I had all, the place I go to has a very wide selection of beers, and had my staples, had a bunch of other halves, had some dated hop butchers, not super dated, but I'm like, I want something. I saw this. I was like, well, WeldWerks. I'm like, lower-ish ABV, 6 and change, using that Krush hop. I was fresh off that cane beer. Glad I picked it up. Can't talk about price point. I want to say it's probably close to $20. Just because that's what almost all WeldWerks 4-packs kind of stick by me. But in the grand scheme of things, if I'm going to sit here and say Mount Rushmore says Hazie IPA, it's worthy. I don't know if it's in there, but in a different world where a good portion of my reviews weren't those, and that's what the market was saturated with, it might be up there, but worthy. Let's put it that way. Value availability, like I said, a little bit elevated, but Colorado and New Jersey off a shelf. $20 is probably what it was, and leave you with if you like what you like this. I'm just going to say straight, if you like Sabro beers, I think you'll really enjoy this. Again, I'm not saying it tastes like those, but there is that cool little fruit element outside of your core 3 that is a really fun kind of mixture here. So if you dig on well done hazies, you like that kind of curveball that Sabro throws and you want something a bit different, a la what this Krush delivers, I think you'll dig this. So there you go. Review in the books. Hopefully enjoyed. Massive Beers. Type it in the social medias. Follow me. Do all that fun stuff. Beer Massive, podcasting stuff. Never talked to WeldWerks, I don't think so, but maybe one day. And WeldWerks, I've been to the brewery. I have not. Have you had their beers? What's your favorite beer? That M beer. I threw the bottle away, but oh man, I wish it starts with an M. Menachone, something along those lines. Go look at my old reviews at the end of 2014. That was my favorite. Have you had this beer down there? Let's talk about it. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of haze right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.